Alright, hello YouTube. This is CSTOYS International. Thank you very much for watching, and Alternative is going here. And today, our second guest is the Wheelchair21 is here on the chat. I'm actually on the chat on the Skype here, and then he likes to, we like to talk about the his new activities and his new shows from the Ustreams, and it's called Doyle's Discussions. And we have the Wheelchair21 here. Hello, Wheelchair.
Hey, this is actually my fourth time doing this with you, it seems.
Yeah,
but
yeah,
this
it
is about a whole different situation.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Yeah, it's about my.
Yeah, go
sorry,
ahead.
it kind of died on me.
Okay.
I can still hear you fine.
Okay, I can hear you fine.
All right. Well, right now I came to talk about my new show, Doyle's Discussions, which is on Ustream on my channel.
Okay.
I kind of rushed the whole plan because I originally tried doing this earlier on. I asked like Shuki and Jettimon to kind of be in on it as like my other hosts when I first tried the idea, but I didn't have a webcam at the time.
Oh.
So now with graduation, I had the money, and I was like, okay, I'll just do my own show.
Good.
Since they got Rangers, Riders, and Rambles. I have like weekly episodes, I guess, that occur during the week, episodically, but I don't really count them as main episodes unless I have the schedule planned. They usually consist at 9 p.m. for me, but 10 a.m. for Japan time.
All right.
I think the next...
yeah,
what were you saying?
Yeah, sorry about
that.
Sorry to cut. Sorry, I'm stopped.
I know, it's this whole lag. It's this whole lag keeps cutting us off.
Yeah. Yeah. So, what about the you mentioned about the topic, but since that you are so much into the tokusatsu, and then I'm sure that your origin of the tokusatsu started from the Godzilla and to the Kamen Riders and the Super Sentais, and so pretty much about based on the tokusatsu one. But what about the animations or other stuff?
Yeah, I also have anime parts, mostly like Dragon Ball Z, Full Metal Alchemist, Gundam, Zoids, Voltron, Go Lion, anything that has become popular in the U.S. because the 4th of July episode was a very huge tokusatsu and anime in Americas. So that was a key thing. I'm still trying to set up my guest interview thing that I want to do with like some of the members. I kind of set up my rules and regulations for how it's going to go down. I'd like to get you on the show as maybe a guest interview or a guest host.
Yep.
I've asked Shuki and Jetty and that to come on as Rangers, Riders, and Rambles or just separately.
Yeah, that would be great.
Because we still also, me, Jetty, and Shuki have been falling behind since on school, but now with summer, we're all like kind of free in that because we were doing the one Ustream Sentai mod Ranger that we made off of the chat. I finally finished 2 of the drafts that I was supposed to have finished by like the 1st of June. Okay. And school just made me really fall behind. So all my show is about is just discussions, planned topics, where I'm doing like my own kind of reviews like you do during the show. So it's kind of like a knockoff of the CSTOYS Pack and Ship shows, those intermissions where we're like doing the reviews or just talking about current subjects. Because this last few hours I was doing the Shinken candy toy reviews.
Oh, good.
And that's so more or less my reviews are going to be on stuff maybe like movie reviews or old American-made adaptations of toys, possibly like the U.S. versions of the mechas from O-Ranger, Mega Ranger, stuff that leads up to the most recent seasons, I believe, because we only started in Jew Ranger and stopped right at RPM, which would be Go Ranger.
Right.
And right now we're currently waiting for Saban to make their newer season.
Yeah, we can't wait for the new series. It's going to be the Shinkenger, do you think?
People believe it's going to be Shinkenger because they were only asked to do 20 episodes.
Oh, okay.
And so they are going to probably, I think, if they're just signed up right now for 20 episodes, maybe during the first few weeks, because they're hitting it off, they're probably going to be like automatically like signed up to continue with the season, depending on ratings, or if not, probably they're just gonna have to end it and try to make DVDs on the old seasons, bring out DVD collections and sets. Because I think a key plan there is they're gonna probably do something like that American Cartoon Generator X Rex, that it's going to be successful in the first few weeks, that they're automatically going to be allowed to go with the season and get maybe another season.
Mm-hmm. Off the topic, but the I heard that the one rumor that the Power Ranger animation was the once planned, and what happened to that? The kind of ideas.
I heard those rumors, and I thought they were kind of BS rumors. I never really believed that, and it kind of turned out that it was sort of being true. I didn't really follow up on that subject because I was trying to follow up on, was there really going to be another season with Disney, or was there really going to be
no more
Power Rangers? Because Bandai America was telling us lies by saying, oh, there will be new Rangers next year, but it was just MMPR new ones. Bandai America has been known to say, oh yeah, they're coming out with new stuff, but the toy lines will end up being canceled, like the Digimon Season 4 finale series. So a lot of people like that get these things when they write into the companies, these messages from Bandai America Associates, where when you go to Japan, I think they're a little more in touch with getting to tell the fans what's really going on, I believe.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's certainly sad to hear that, something like that happening in the United States. But the good part is that the Shinkenger might come up in the United States, and when I heard that news, I was quite thrilled. How that thinking about how the American people goes to bring that kind of Japanese, very much Japanese taste programs into the American cultures, and that's something I'm very much looking for into it.
Yeah, that was one thing too. But as I was listening to Rangers, Riders, and Rambles, their most current episode, I kind of laugh at the joke about Daigoyo being Hispanic, because every time I made an American voice or American dub of Daigoyo, I kind of did it with a Spanish accent.
Really? So, that'd be fun. Yeah,
it was an ironic thing for me to finally watch Rangers, Riders, and Rambles episode 1 and see that I was doing the same thing they were thinking.
Yeah, so, I mean that's something. It's when every time the Japanese the tokusatsu were brought to the United States, and they have some challenges, not like us, but the people, the white people, black people, or Asians, mixed slates, and then the languages, and then the backgrounds of those Super Sentais, and just always see that they're trying their best and to suit the communities. I mean the community rules or something, and it's very interesting.
Yeah, I gotta agree. I think one of the funniest things was the whole Ginga Man death toll. And then trying to bring it over to the U.S. where they had to kill off a few characters. I think Lost Galaxy, they said, was the biggest death toll of ever in American tokusatsu history.
Okay.
Because they really never killed anyone except villains. So they had at the end of the season 11 heroes and villains died in total. And then it was an amazing season on death.
Yeah. Well, I think here in Japan, I mean, the tokusatsu people, I mean, many heroes actually die.
Yeah, in the first Showa series, I think every season to around Jetman, up to Jetman or Zyu Ranger was a hero getting killed, a main cast member, towards the end would end up being stabbed or just killed by regular burglars.
Just a regular person.
Jetman.
Yeah, I remember that one.
Jetman, the one guy got killed protecting the woman from a mugging.
I remember that story. That was very sad, even for myself. I mean, that was kind of unusual one, even for the Japanese people, I think. But it was quite shocking. And well,
I think that was the best, not the best, but a weird closing because of the love triangle going on. That he was on the way to the wedding, and so it made it even more of a climactic ending.
Yeah, that was very sad.
He didn't die in true battle, where that was a key point. of
Yeah.
Sentai deaths.
I think that was the kind of because of the last episode for that series, and then I think all the directors and all the production teams trying to put that a more kind of very serious message to the childrens. I think there are actually the people dying, and there are people trying to protect something in real life. Not only the heroes, but just the ordinary people trying to protect the simple life like that. And I think it was a quite shocking scene, but at the same time has a very strong message these people. I don't know. Maybe it might be a good idea to check that. What was the situation in those times in Japan? Maybe something related was the some accident or some incidents there. You know, because all the Kamen Riders and the Super Sentais, she's always kind of have the reflection from the what's going on at the Japanese societies, and they try to bring that some kind of hidden message through those programs, and so it might be interesting to check that those Jetman, was it Jetman?
Yeah, it was Jetman.
Okay, and so I don't remember that. When was the Jetman anyway?
It was, I think, right before Zayu, because that was originally the first plans to be the first American Power Ranger series.
Yeah, so I think they don't. It's kind of interesting to check that what was going on in the society here, Japanese society here, and see that what was that the people thinking about, and I don't know. I mean, but most of the Kamen Riders, like I said, the Super Sentais has that very have strong connections with the actual happening and here in Japan, and so that's kind of another deep side of the tokusatsu world, I guess.
Yeah, I gotta say, I think a lot in the '90s though was like with Shin appearing and the Guyver series was appearing in America, not as just anime, but like what was his face? Sakamoto, the guy who did all the Power Rangers special effects. Him and the Wang brothers got together and made the Guyver movies, where Wang's later on made Kamen Rider Dragon Knight. I gotta say, watching Guyver, I kind of like think about Shin a lot, and I kind of think that story would have worked out perfectly if Shin was maybe like an American writer.
Yeah,
because Guyver 2 kind of was a very popular movie, at least with a lot of anime people, compared to Guyver 1.
True. Yeah, I mean, how many Guyver movies actually made?
There were only 2 live action, and I think 2 animes of Guyver made.
Wow.
The series went for, I think, the manga, I don't know if it's still going on because I haven't really kept up with it since, like, '96. But I think there were, like, 2 series of mangas, 2 series of animes, an anime movie or so, and then the 2 live-action movies, which were in the U.S.
I see.
And then, like, the Wangs went into hiding, and then Dragon Knight appears, and I'm like, awesome.
Interesting. And then a connection between those Guyver, the real action movies, and then the connection with the Kamen Rider Shin. It's quite interesting. I think it's something to think about. How that to become how to get that popularity for the tokusatsu in the United States, and maybe there's some keys, because the Kamen Rider Knight, Dragon Knight, is the very good program. I think it's very should be more popular since that they won that Emmy show and Emmy awards, and I hope that they will continue that like that Kamen Rider She's in the United States. Yeah.
A good thing I realized though with Dragon Knight was that they were able to cut it, at least since they had it that they weren't time limited to fight in the mirror world for a certain amount of the time. They made it that they could just pan anywhere, so as long as they had it with an actual area where they could reflect, you would see like a flash of like a bolt of like light, and then like the next thing you'd see them fighting like downtown California or uptown California. But at the same time, they would be switching in and out from Japanese footage. But like sometimes you could tell when the Japanese footage was really being used because the camera footage wasn't HD camera footage, so you could automatically tell that. You could tell it would be like, oh, this was shot at least 2 or 3 years ago before HD cameras came out.
Oh, I see.
and that because now Decade and Double now they have like the HD cameras used. So if like say Double was brought into America, there might be some hard cases where we wouldn't be able to tell that it was being used in the U.S. And also a funny thing is older footages. I was watching Ultraman the other day, and I noticed when they did a pan, you could actually see the back of the set from the background for the screen for the blue sky. They didn't cut it perfectly.
Yeah. Well,
and I was going to point that out all over on YouTube, but I was afraid someone might get mad at me.
But you know, since being a Tokusatsu fan is you guys just surprised me, amazing. You know, you see that all the details, all the differences, and you compare and you trying to identify it. Oh wow, that's amazing.
Yeah. I'm one of those like people that really like the details and the special effects because I really enjoyed watching Dragonite just because the HD cameras bring a lot of the details out of the old Ryuki suits, but the remade Ryuki suits. And also, I'm like one of those people that can like kind of see like those foreshadowing things where they like put something in the movie where you kind of don't realize if it's going to reappear later on. Like when you watch the original Gojira movie, when he's trudging through the one island that they find him on, there's a building that he smashes. Like you just see the building like explode. But if you look very carefully, you see his leg going through the like building at the very edge of the corner. And not many people realize that. And I picked that up when I was like 5 years old. And an adult that was sitting there with me was like, how did you pick that out if I couldn't even pick that out? And it was just that I really have a knack for like really loving just special effects and suits and designs, that with the cool thing about Ghost Sager being that every monster is based on like a science fiction name. I'm like, okay, the main new villain of the Umajuns is King Kong or whatever they're based off, that one Yeti guy. Like, so I'm waiting for there to be like a Godzilla monster to be appearing.
No, actually, I didn't didn't notice that one. Wow.
Yeah, that's been floating around all over
I didn't know that.
The U.S. sites like Henshin Grid that they have the things are based off of sci-fi names and such. So when I first saw Mons Drake, I thought he was named off of Mothra, but he was actually named after Star Trek, the new movie that was made by in 2009 or whatever. And such, because that was a key thing. Because I saw Mons Drake and I'm like, it's Mothra, and I'm like, nope, it's not.
All right, great. And these are the kind of things that you can hear, you know, from the wheelchairs, those discussions. And then, well, I hope you guys, you know, the chat members and other people, you know, if you watch this, you know, the YouTube videos, and please join that. You know, there are so much Tokusatsu world and details. And you may have that different details and bring it on, and then wheelchairs will be more than appreciated, right?
Yeah, I will be. And I can't wait for like more people to show up. And one key discussion I've been trying to follow is the whole Godzilla 2012 in the U.S.
Yeah, and then
so that's going to be our key thing for the next year or so.
That would be great. I know you're going to be you know, adding more pictures or, you know, effects or like this. You know, the chat windows on the show, you know, and maybe additional cameras, and you know, these are the things that will be, you know, will be quite, you know, I know you need to have this real times to work on it, but I'm sure, you know, using this one will really make your shows, you know, greater, and then your discussion will be more interesting and meaningful, and then yeah, you know, I really wish you good luck with that.
Yeah, thanks, and I hope you can be one of my first guests on the show to
all right, no problem.
Really test it out.
Yeah, we'll work on that, and let's keep in touch with that.
All right, thanks.
Okay.
I'll talk to you soon.
Talk to you soon. Thank you, Wheelchair. And everyone, it was Wheelchair21. Thank you very much. All right, so I hope that you enjoyed the discussion with him, and gosh, he's got so much knowledge about the Tokusatsu, and then his point of view is very, very interesting. And so there's something that we can learn from that, and then I hope that you can join those discussions. And so, you know, let us know what you think about that too. Okay. So thank you very much, Wheelchair, and thank you everyone. And this has been the live recording from the CSTOYS International, the alternative from Hokkaido. And then, actually, it sounds like the Wheelchair21 was right here in Hokkaido. I felt like that. Okay. Thanks to the Skype technology, and we were connected. All right, so thank you guys, and talk to you soon.